Chad Gable's storyline just took another big turn that has fans buzzing, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's new for Finn Balor, the Judgment Day, and more. Starting things off with the Chad Gable storyline, because this story looks like it can now be headed in many different ways. This whole journey that Chad Gable is currently on all started back in January, when he lost to Penta in Penta's debut WWE match. Chad Gable's character has always viewed himself as an expert in pro wrestling overall, but after suffering his loss to Penta, he realized that his field he was weak in was Lucha Libre. He came to the realization that his knowledge on that specific genre and style of wrestling was not up to par, and he became obsessed with mastering Lucha Libre. That led to him going to Dominik Mysterio for help, Dominik giving him a mysterious contact information, Chad Gable buying that $500 box with the mask inside of it, and now bringing us to current day with the March 10th edition of Raw. During the LWO and New Day's match, a masked man rocking an American-made themed Lucha Libre mask appeared ringside to take out the LWO members. The masked man never revealed his face, but had the same build as Chad Gable, same gestures and mannerisms as Chad Gable, even the same moves as Chad Gable. Security eventually chased the masked man to the backstage area. Considering all those similar things to Chad Gable, the commentary team, Kathy Kelly, and all the fans labeled the man as being Chad Gable. But that's when the twist got dropped on everyone. Kathy Kelly then confronts an unmasked version of Chad Gable backstage, following the attack, and questioned Gable for why he attacked the LWO like that earlier in the night. Chad Gable fully denied being behind the attack, and said that it's ridiculous that a fan could jump the barricade, get involved in such a great match like that. Kathy Kelly then calls out Chad Gable for literally saying that he was going to master Lucha Libre right before he left several weeks ago, and how the attacker perfectly matches everything that Chad Gable is wearing. Chad Gable continues to deny, and Kathy tells him to stop lying. And right before the masked attacker can be seen in the background getting pulled away by security, therefore hinting and confirming Chad's claim that him and the attacker are two different people. So it's a very big twist there. Fans thought Chad Gable would simply return with the Lucha Libre mask, which he technically did, but the story is now leaning in the direction that the masked individual and Chad are two separate people. So what are the best fan theories here? Well, the first good piece of intel comes from the WWE shop page of the American Made Lucha mask, which does give a very quick synopsis of the man behind the mask. The WWE shop description of the mask had this to say, quote, "A mysterious masked man has joined American Made's ranks and is a force to be reckoned with. Show that you believe in this new luchador by grabbing this lucha mask. The American Made graphics in red, white, and blue colors give this Lucha Libre staple a fitting patriotic twist." End quote. The biggest piece of information there is clearly the first line. According to this item description, the masked man is officially a new member of the American Made faction. Chad Gable did not confirm any affiliation to the attacker on the March 10th edition of Raw, and did not claim him as one of his own men. Gable simply said that it must have been a fan, and he had no idea who the individual was. So maybe Chad Gable's just covering it up for the time being, for whatever reason, but will officially bring this individual into the group in the coming weeks. There are some fans out there discussing the possibility of the mask storyline being stretched out a bit, and for Penta's brother, Rey Fenix, to eventually be behind the grand reveal of who the mysterious Lucha Libre is. There's been a lot of speculation and discussion about Fenix joining his brother and signing with WWE, and considering the fact that this storyline all started with Gable's loss to Penta, fans are really wondering if that's the big grand reveal. That everyone assumes that Chad Gable is lying and that he's the one behind the mask, but the twist is that Chad Gable had recruited Rey Fenix into his faction and to be his American-made Lucha Libre star that was hidden in disguise. It's truly technically only 1 week into this mask storyline since Chad Gable just returned, but fans are already claiming that they're getting strong Elias and Ezekiel vibes from this story so far. It's looking like Chad Gable will obviously be the one behind the mask, but Chad Gable will deny it at all times and call everyone crazy for thinking it's him. and then eventually maybe they do a big reveal and show that it was in fact Chad Gable under the mask, or do something again like they did on the March 10th, and have Chad Gable and the masked individual in the same room at the same time. So it's definitely a little bit of a silly storyline, but Chad Gable is incredible and can make anything work and keep you glued to your screen. So he should definitely keep the story feeling alive. You also have that mystery dynamic sprinkled into the story now of who's really under the mask. So that entire question should keep fans' interest and theories going for a while. So be on the lookout for this story, because it certainly feels like more swerves are on the way for the new American Made Lucha Libre star. For weeks now, tension has been rising and rising within the Judgment Day, and it's basically been Finn on an island by himself against the rest of the group. JD McDonough was Finn's guy, someone who would always see things through Finn's perspective. But with JD gone, Finn is pretty isolated with no one truly on his side within the group. This week, Raw saw Dominik Mysterio tell Finn Balor that he got him an intercontinental title match against Bron Breakker for next week's Raw. Finn instantly dropped the hostile act against Dominik and gave Dominik a big hug, which Dominik did make a little face about while Finn was hugging him, but went right back into smiling at Finn once the hug was released. So this segment once again shows Dominik Mysterio being the one to really be the one making big moves for the Judgment Day. And it's been like this for a few weeks now. Dominik has been the one truly getting things done. He helped Liv and Raquel get the tag team titles. He got this title match for Finn. Dominik really got that motion going right now. And considering that Dominik is putting all this together with all these big moves, that's also leading fans to believe that Dominik's secret plan and agenda is still in place. On the surface, Dominik seems like a nice friend for getting Finn that title match, but knowing who Dominik is and that little smirk he did during that hug, there's definitely something going on here that we, the audience, and even Finn Balor know nothing about. The Judgment Day could be setting Finn Balor up for another failure by not going out to the ring to assist him with Bron Breakker and letting him handle things all by himself in a clean loss. Or you got some fans that are feeling like another Judgment Day screw job could be happening in this title match. Just a big moment of the Judgment Day officially kicking Finn Balor out, and who knows, maybe Dominik Mysterio wastes no time and instantly brings out his new recruited Judgment Day member that he's been hinting at for weeks now. So regardless of what happens next week during this title match, either way, whatever happens is going to push the narrative forward between Finn Balor and the Judgment Day in a major way. Dominik is up to something big. Even Liv Morgan seems a bit left out of Dominik's true intentions. So Dominik's going to surprise even the Judgment Day with whatever he's up to. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.